I'm Diaspro.
A couple of weeks ago now, we were blessed with, well, I don't know if blessed is the word, we were presented with the first half of Season 1 of The Magic is Back, a reboot of the Winx Club series which we all know and love. I instantly went to watch the 13 new episodes and there's definitely lots to talk about. My friend Drawing Diamonds and I reviewed the trailer and the transformations, which you should check out after this if you haven't already. So I approached him with the idea of reacting to the episodes, to which he sent me this elegant reply.
Hi everybody, it's Drawing Diamonds. My host wanted me to rewatch these episodes and discuss everything. Yeah, no, I ain't rewatching that sucked. I hate this I don't want to be here. This
So instead, I'm going to react to the bits I really want to, and then I'll force him to join me at the very end to discuss our general thoughts on the reboot. Now, last minute warning, there will of course be spoilers in these reviews, but without further ado, let's begin. I think it was 2 days before the release that they shared a picture of somebody facing away from the camera with Flora's reboot wings, and you could tell from the preview that this was going to be a remix of the original opening theme, Under the Sign of Winx, from all the way back in 2004. Well, 2005 technically, because they used the season 2 lyrics, but anyway, I remember some people saying that they thought it was Miley Cyrus. Then I saw Tate McRae also be an option, and I said, no, we've lost it. We've lost the point of the Winx. It turns out it's this Italian singer called Clara, and I think she did a good job. It's very classic Winx to have this heavy Italian accent, so I appreciate that they went for something like that. Although maybe the accent's a bit too strong in some parts. You can hear her struggle to say the words enchant and world. But she tried her best, and I respect it. I think she sounds great. The instrumental, it's a more modern day version for sure.
We are the Winx, Winx, we are the Winx, Winx.
The scenes they used are a bit boring, but you know what is a bit upsetting? The fact that they kept that one shot of Bloom's skirt disappearing in the opening credits of the series. I was so annoyed, especially because, spoiler alert, this is a scene from episode 4, and in that episode they have the corrected animation. Why would you do this? Why would you keep a failed animation in the opening titles, which are going to play in every single episode? I don't know. It's not even the worst thing that happens. We get Bloom's stretched mesh sleeves in a couple of the shots too. But speaking of Bloom's mesh, they hid it in this first shot. They went back and they fixed something. I'm very happy about that. They pushed forward her hair and they just covered it up, which, you know, simple solution. That's all you need to do. Well done. There's still no water in the glass though, so I'm afraid there's still some kind of fail in this first shot, but it is what it is. Mike enters her room instead of Vanessa. Sure, but then Mike's got this very stiff NPC walking animation, which I do not approve of. I think these animation cycles are going to be so obvious throughout the whole series, guys, get ready.
Happy birthday, honey.
They changed the bike story from the original episode 1, so Bloom's now happy to have received the bike. It changes from the concept of her wanting to be seen as more of a grown-up in the original, and instead it's like, oh, my parents are so nice to me, but I'm hiding this massive secret that I'm actually a Human Torch.
Nothing is too much for our little Firefly.
Mike calls her their little Firefly. Very on the nose. We find out later that Mike and Vanessa actually know that Bloom has these powers, and they're just pretending to be clueless. But you could guess that easily from this nickname. I don't like the new title font, it's a bit boring. I also miss the fact that there aren't any recaps or previews at the start and the end of each episode. But this series is more streaming friendly, so I understand why they removed it.
Oh my god, what is that?
The unexpected event is occurring in plain sight in Gardenia Park. It's not in a hidden place. Everything feels rushed, because I guess they're assuming that more older fans will be tuning in who know the story, so they don't have to touch on those key points for long. If you're watching this for the first time, you're not getting much of a chance to experience this for the first time alongside the characters.
Not the bike!
Bloom's first spell is just sad. It's so weak. They tried referencing the stance of her first spell in the original series, but it looks much weaker in comparison.
What? Did you see that?
Stella and Flora randomly say the exact same lines in unison. I don't know what happened there. What did one of them say the other's lines too and they just stuck them together? Who knows? Nut still doesn't have a name. He's just that one Trix monster that appears throughout the season. We're gonna call him Nut anyway because that's basically what he is. Stella and Flora pick Bloom up to rescue her, but when she gets put down, it's already nighttime. This happened in the trailer and I thought they were just summarizing things to keep the trailer short, but no, this is literally the cut of the episode.
I was like, fairies? Okay.
Bloom's reaction to this is just insane. She does not care. She's going along with it. Nut does this gravity-defying leap through the tree to reach them, but they go through this portal and we don't know where they end up. It literally never tells us. Flora's arm is still broken in the animation. It's a whole mess.
After telling my parents I got accepted to a very special boarding school.
Similarly to Fate the Winx saga, Bloom's lying about going to some boarding school, and her parents just go along with it. They don't know who Stella is, they don't know who Flora is. Bloom herself barely knows who they are. There's not much of a one-on-one special bond between Bloom and Stella now that Flora's added to the equation. And also, Kiko the plushie is left behind in Gardenia because Bloom is old enough to do without him. Now when they actually need to be walking through a portal, they just walk away. I understand not putting a portal in front of Mike and Vanessa when you're telling them it's a boarding school, but they couldn't have gone around the corner to sneak through a portal or something. There's no grandiose portal traveling like in the original pilot. It looks like Magix could genuinely be on Earth because they don't really specify where they're going or anything. All of this happens in 4 minutes. It took her a whole episode of the original series to get to Althea, and now it's taken 4 minutes. And of course, there's already space for her, because the headmistresses apparently detected her presence on Earth or something, and we're gonna go get her anyway. That shot of the background fairy switching still remains in the final series. What a shame.
Over here, Bloom! Stella! Flora!
Stella and Flora are already in the courtyard, despite them all leaving Gardenia together. Literally, when did they split up? Oh, this is where we get some of the quote-unquote power lines that they released in the exclusive preview last year.
I'm the fairy of nature. I'm the fairy of nature.
Except Stella's shining sun was definitely replaced last minute to sun and moon. For the better, I'd say.
I'm the fairy of the shining sun. I'm the fairy of the sun and moon.
This bit is so painful. Stella's just there standing still for 5 seconds. All they had to do was make her keep walking out of frame. Why did they keep her in the camera? I don't know.
Aisha, fairy of waves. You'll see my name on the food in the fridge.
Aisha literally just glitched backflips into the middle of nowhere. What an introduction, Aisha. This is so... It seems like the other 5 fairies already know each other, so we don't get any kind of interesting interactions between anybody else, which is a shame.
She's Robin, Farragonda's assistant.
And who's Farragonda?
Robin is Farragonda's assistant. Okay. She says Farragonda's back. Back from where? Probably back from the UK, because she's trying to steal our accent now, and it's not working. So...
Do you two girls have any idea how many rules you broke with your escapade?
Already we're getting vibes that Flora sticks to the rules, Flora behaves, and Stella does not, which is very on par with their characters. And Stella references the explosion in the potions lab that happened in the original season 1 episode 2. I thought that was cute.
Headmistress Griffin? You may have been invited here, but you have overstayed your welcome.
This scene is so aggravating. There was plenty of space around Icy, but Bloom has to barge into her for this to happen. The fire and ice cutscene is still ugly.
She's just a fire fairy.
Oh, I strongly dislike Darcy's voice. I don't know what the decision was behind this casting. I think the actress is great for Tekna since they share a voice, but for Darcy, she's too sweet, she's too generic sounding. There's something too jolly about the way she approaches Darcy. Out of the Winx and the Trix, I think Darcy's voice might be the worst match.
You're giving the statue a manicure?
Have you seen its nails?
Stella not helping is very OG season 1 episode 7 of her.
What was that? Okay, James.
Not all witches are bad, and not all fairies are perfect.
Stella and Flora's witch conversation implies that there's an opportunity to change from one to the other, in the sense that you may have been categorized as one, but you end up acting like the other. So I feel like they're implying that there's going to be a conversion of some sort in the series, kind of like Murta in the original series, but we don't have Murta here. Instead, we've got Damien, and we see that he's categorized as a warlock, but I think he'll switch to the fairy equivalent by the end of the series. And maybe they're hinting at Darcy switching as well. There's constant references to Darcy thinking too much about boys, Darcy being the weakest link of the Tricks. When they team up in episode 4, Icy and Stormy go together and leave Darcy out. Who knows? I don't think they're bold enough to do it, but it could happen. When Bloom's trying to plead her case, she just looks absolutely emotionless. I don't understand why this 3D model is struggling to give us any kind of emotion.
What are you doing in here?
Damien is absolutely my least favorite part of this entire reboot. I can't deal with Damien. He takes up so much time. We know too much about him. Nobody asked to know anything about him. His design is terrible. He doesn't look like he fits in the series. Underneath those bangs, his forehead must be huge. Let's just collectively ignore Damien, please.
I feel like I've met him before.
Never mind, we can't ignore him because Bloom's first thoughts are, I feel like I've met him before. Oh, here we go with this now, but we'll get there when we get there. This is what I mean by the ugly walk cycles. They all have the same walking animation to make animating faster, of course, but you can tell this is made with Flora's everyday outfit in mind because they need the girl's arms to be outside enough to not intersect with the dress, which is why they're walking around like penguins. I don't understand the flailing of the arms.
Why is it so tight?
I was wondering the same thing.
That entire field was absolutely empty until Icy just decided to spawn in and be friendly. And let's be real, one thing about Bloom is that she's going to be gullible when it comes to Icy.
I think the green button loosens the collar.
Really? Well, let's try it then. Oh, no questioning where you pulled that remote out of Icy. Okay, the changelings transform off screen. If that's not an indication of the budget, I don't know what is. Oh, the specialists. I don't like Sky's appearance, and I especially don't like his voice.
It's our job as first responders to handle situations like these.
His delivery of these lines is very nonchalant, and I think the quality of the microphone sounds different compared to the rest of the cast.
I'm the one who pushed the button.
I'm Sky. I should probably...
This could be because the dubbing studio 3Beep seems to allow voice actors to work from home and record everything individually, so there's going to be some quality difference, but it just makes it sound like a fan project if anything. There's no beef between any of the 4 specialists this time, unlike in the original, which is what they were trying to work on all season long, particularly Sky and Riven, who would always butt heads.
Our turn!
They don't really integrate the sequences well in terms of visuals and song.
Wow! Stella, come on!
The cut is just too harsh. No final pose for Stella, okay. Forever Winx has grown on me, but I recently listened to the Italian one and it sounds amazing. Well done to them for adding backing vocals to the song. I think it really needed it and it absolutely paid off. Well done. Wait, why is the portal like that? Why is the portal taking her to the middle of outer space? The original version of this shot had her tops intersecting, but that's been fixed, thank God. I now understand why Mitzi was asking for an apology this whole time. Literally all Bloom does is run into people. I missed the Hamper Studio test of this scene. The final version that we got just does not compare. It looks a bit bland. The shatter texture doesn't appear in time with the hit, so it looks like the mirror cracks itself, but whatever. This broom should have fallen down to the bottom of the handle. The physics literally make no sense. This spot would have been nicer for the unexpected event to occur because it's way less public, even though Bloom just referred to it as a super busy area. Oh, we're done with the episode. Nice. This song is low-key a bop. It fits the visuals that we've been given, even though I don't like the visuals. It's too similar to Mermaid Magic, but I guess that's the new era of Rainbow's credits, so fine. I don't think the song is very Winxy, but I like how it sounds and it fits. Then we get the inclusion of the original art style through the 16th anniversary artworks of Magic Winx. Even though these are in the Bloomix artwork poses, I've literally used these in my videos before, that's quite funny. I was so curious to know who was voicing our main characters, and when I saw that Kate Bristol was back in Winx, I could not believe it.
We could be the Winx! Bloom is the best roommate a girl could want.
I miss her Musa performance in Season 7 in World of Winx, but she's definitely got range. I think she's missing the fiery aggression that sometimes comes with Bloom. Everybody's casting announcements on Instagram are really sweet, and I'm glad they're supporting the series. Oh, also, Mark Thompson is back as Vexius in the series. Literally all I heard was Jim from World of Winx, and I am not upset. I think it's fun.
Now get to work stealing that flame.
My name's Jim, and the watch is mine.
We also have the confirmation that Hamper did animate the transformation sequences as we guessed, and the rest of the animation for the series was done by, I don't know what that is, some random... I don't know how I feel about the fact that they call it a service, but okay. They went for outsourcing once again. Of course, it's a more budget-friendly option, but this series may have the worst animation I've ever seen for Winx Club, and that's saying something.
You will be tested to see if you are a witch or a fairy.
There's a chance that I'm a witch?
Well, yes.
I like that this is a callback to Bloom potentially being a witch in Season 1, Episode 14 of the original.
You have nothing to worry about.
We know a fairy when we see one.
They hate the concept of the witches so much. They're like, no, you would never be one of them. Witch. Let's move on. This classroom scene was the first full clip that we got of the reboot. That was one of their many bad promotional decisions, on top of the endless amount of trailers that we got, basically spoiling everything in the series. This clip's animation leaves a lot to be desired. We've got ugly walking animation, ugly visual effects, there's no transitions in between the changes of the animals, Bloom's eyebrows disappear into her skull at the end of the lesson. The new Trix logo that Icy basically brands Bloom with is reminiscent of Valtor's mark from the original series, and I respect that they added something like this. Even if it's just to mess with Bloom for this one episode, I enjoy it. Brandon, what the heck was that? Also, why are they even at Althea right now?
Sometimes we take classes here. History of Magics. Anyway.
Hey. I'm Diaspro.
No, turn around. They kept promoting the back of her, and now I understand. It's because if they promoted the front, we wouldn't have watched. This is too much.
Oh, my sweet Prince Charming.
Her voice is so annoying. And now they're going for boba tea. What is this script?
There's a room of reflection in the West Tower.
Bloom, I know you can't resist everything Icy tells you, but come on.
Can you move that mountain of boxes?
Why don't you move your treadmill?
Uncomfortable with argument.
Techna, oh my god.
I don't know if that's really my thing.
I'm so happy they kept this cut in the final episode. I didn't know if the clip they released was edited, but no, it's literally the exact same. And I'm so happy because it's so dumb.
Protection of waves! Protection of waves!
Protection of waves? Hello, Bloomix spell.
Who am I kidding? I have to know.
No, Bloom, no.
How do I...
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant!
You were right, Icy.
Instead of Stormy saying, "You were right, Icy," and then just leaving it there, I wish Icy'd said something like, "Oh, you know, I'm always right. My plans never fail." Or, "I'm so smart," just to rub in that she does have a flaw, and that's her arrogance in Season 1, because right now she's seeming a bit too overpowered. It really isn't Winx Club without Bloom going back home over any minor inconvenience.
Under the starry sky with the moon as my guide, I feel the call of the heart.
When I tell you, I was so happy to hear Elisa Rossellini back in the Winx Reboot. We missed her so much. Welcome back. This song is called Going Home. It's about Bloom, going home. I think it's sweet. It's a nice balance between sad but still hopeful. But that animation of Bloom dragging her luggage in the corridor is unforgivable. Something about the lyrics is quite wordy. Elisa Rosselli didn't write any of the songs that she performs in the reboot, which I think is a huge loss, but I guess her being there is enough. I just question who or what wrote the lyrics and came up with the original composition, because there are some tendencies in the lineup of songs that Elisa sings to overpack a lot of lyrics into one small melodical phrase, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't have the right amount of repetition or structure. It's difficult to explain, that might have to be a video on its own. Gardenia High School is reused from Mermaid Magic, as well as some of the background characters. Honestly, I don't really care. Do what you gotta do. This happened in the original series too. Bloom returns to school like nothing happened. Where is her luggage?
Chemistry in room 219.
Imagine chemistry class is actually meant to be going on right now, and there's just people outside going, "Excuse me, are we allowed in yet?"
We just want to steal your power!
The cat's out of the bag, guys. The Tricks have finally said that they intend to steal Bloom's power.
Aren't you Farragonda's assistant?
I'm a specialist too. Can't a girl be more than one thing?
You go, Robin. You do what you need to do. You represent.
Magica Potentia Captorium!
I wish the vacuums returned instead of whatever this random Latin phrase is. This girl is both in Gardenia High School and she's a new fairy at Althea. Okay, fine.
Bloom?
We've always known you've had powers. We're your parents. Give us some credit.
Turns out they knew she had powers all along. Robin's there trying to help explain, but they already knew.
Classes are hard.
We know this isn't easy, but hard things never are.
The infamous "hard things are never easy" line. Love to see it in context. It's still bad. Techna said, "Let me make myself comfortable." She jumped to the other side of the kitchen.
We know so. There must always be a balance of power between fairies and witches in order to stem the tides of chaos.
Does that mean anything? Or do we just move on? This is the most obvious lineup I have ever seen. It's very clear who's a fairy and who's a witch. I know, Kitcher, but kids are not dumb.
Fairy.
Wow.
Congratulations, girl.
Warlock.
He looked so upset. If they had just said fairy or whatever the equivalent is, he would have smiled, he would have been happy. But no, they had to crush him.
There's something in his eyes. Something gentle.
Flora, whatever you're thinking, you need to kill those thoughts right now. Please, Helia, come back. Helia, we need you. It took them so long to steal Stella's ring in the original series, but then Reboot Nut does it in 20 seconds. I'm glad he's got a brain now, but that shot of the ring in his hand is ridiculous. Once again, guys, I may have lost it, but I literally thought that was Bloom's harmonics background framed on Stella's wall. I'm so sorry.
My Solaria ring. I'll go get it. Someone stole my ring! It's a family heirloom!
From what I remember watching, they never say the word divorce regarding Stella's parents.
My parents fight enough as it is!
They're just fighting and arguing, and that's a huge loss for this series. To have originally spoken about the topic of divorce so early in the series was definitely a power move back then, and I think it's a shame that they're basically censoring this aspect of Stella's backstory.
Let me put it on. I mean, after you, sister.
Are they actually biological sisters this time around, or are we sticking with the season 8 story? I think from what I've seen, Icy is the oldest sister and Stormy is the youngest. We're gonna pretend they're sisters by blood this time.
It burned me!
Forget the ring.
The ring is basically pathetic now. It took them 2 minutes to steal it, try it on, and then completely disregard it.
These prints are full of ashes.
From Cloud Tower, since the Tricks are the only ones still wandering around that burned out ruin.
The fact that they know that the Tricks are the only ones wandering around the ruins of Cloud Tower. I know nobody likes a snitch, but at what point do you just call them out for it if they're gonna torment you this much? I love that there's no security in this library, and I hate that the stretching mesh appears on Bloom's sleeves again. I do wish Daphne's voice was a bit fainter and maybe had more effects on it. It could have made it sound more mysterious. Nice to see Griselda, even though she looks like the skull emoji.
Professor Griselda, Vice Principal here at Althea.
She's also voiced by Erica Schroeder now, which is quite funny because Erica voiced Farragonda in the Duart and 3-Beat dubs, so welcome back, question mark, downgrade, question mark.
Why don't you give it a go?
In her case, it'll be a stop.
Who wrote this joke? Is this show worth my time? No, of course not, but we're gonna keep going.
I'm the only anyone here who can't do a basic...
So we can find Stella's Solaria ring.
Yeah, Solaria.
In the same episode, they've already said Solaria and Solaria. Keeping it like old times, let's just say that.
I've been told to say thank you after a compliment, so thank you.
Tekna being my favorite character in the reboot is not something I expected, but here we are. She works perfectly in this robotic animation style, let's say that.
Here it is.
Can we go now?
This place is weird, and I never get scared.
Rest in peace Aisha being afraid of the dark like in the original series, or having any other kind of characteristics.
It's time to show off.
We need to find our way back to Althea.
Again, I'm not really vibing with these transformation edits. I think they could have gone further. Did you guys see how slow that icicle grew out of the ground? What are these effects?
Let my friends out now!
They just said they can't get out and then Bloom just happens to walk around it? Anyway. You know what, they can stay trapped because they're not even reacting. Flora's face is completely unfazed. When I was reacting to the transformations with drawing diamonds, we hoped for different expressions on their faces to be added depending on the context of the transformations, because the happy, cheery animation that we got in these sequences wouldn't really work in battle scenes, and that's clearly what's happening here, because Bloom is mad. And suddenly she goes, yeah, and she's transforming. It doesn't work.
What should we call ourselves?
Fairies forever. 6 fairies who randomly met at Althea and share a common room.
See, I prefer BSMTF and the Airy Fairies, but that's just me.
Since they're the tricks, we could be the Winx!
So the name Winx was inspired by the tricks. Icy, you will forever be famous.
What does Winx mean?
Everything. Just Winx.
Again, if they'd said something like everything it's Winx, it would have worked, but everything just does not work for me, I'm afraid. Do you see how they've teleported into 3 different locations in about 10 seconds? Something about this feels like a compilation of clips rather than a full episode.
Oh, this is my favorite.
I wonder if an Italian 3D artist was the one to make that pizza or not, because that pizza looks thick.
Bring me Bloom's power, and I'll give you what you want, as agreed.
He's so going to double-cross us. Not if we double-cross him first.
1, welcome Vexius. 2, I am so glad that the Tricks trailer was misleading, because at first we all thought that the Tricks were going to be under some random guy's command again, just like Darkar, Valtor, Tritanus. Instead, we get told from the get-go that their plan is to double-cross him before he gets to double-cross them, so hopefully they're ahead of the game, and they're not going to go along with Vexius's plan. Good for them. Spoiler alert, they fail, but...
Everybody they know how much your power flows.
Okay, we've got a new song in this episode already. Is it a generic American pop song? Yes. It's definitely one of those typical Halloween-y, witchy songs that you see in any other American show. But why is it kind of good? And it doesn't beat the Mean Girls song from the 4Kids dub for me. But having something new in that style is kind of enjoyable. If you see this Kingdom Orange 2, I am so sorry, but I have to expose this message.
Why are you wasting your time doing your nails and fantasizing about boys?
Since the reboot seems to be so stereotypical as to what makes someone a fairy or a witch, it's almost weird how they're intentionally making Darcy look softer than the rest of the Tricks. Once again, I would not be surprised if she ends up converting somehow, which would be weird, but interesting to see if they put it off. The wall with random sketches and concept art at the back is insane.
There is a boy I like. It's a secret, but I'll give you a hint.
Darcy just sounds too nice, guys. I don't think her voice works. We're getting some more information on who Vexius is. So he served at the right hand of King Oratel during his reign in Domino. Good to know. Vexius's staff is revealed to be the key to the Omega Dimension. Dun dun dun. Who would have thought? Does this cement the fact that they're mixing all kinds of Winx seasons together? I think it does. And it turns out the deal that Vexius and the Tricks have on the surface is for the Tricks to fetch the Dragon Flame, which they will then exchange for the staff to be able to gather some army of villains and conquer the world? Sure.
I brought someone who can help you. This is Damien.
What a surprise. Damien links himself to even more of the story. We get another song, and I'm so sorry to anybody who dislikes this genre. I did unfortunately have a Love Island phase, so I'm afraid I'm immune to this genre now, but I do actually like it. I think this kind of song fits Clara's singing style way more than the opening, and as great as the song is to me, I think this may be top 3 ugliest animation sequences of the entire reboot. The camera work is messy, the speed of the characters flying around changes drastically, they literally just reuse one of Bloom's transformation sequence animations in the flying montage. What is going on? And that stupid scene from the opening credits where her skirt disappears is now fixed, but they didn't use this in the opening. Anyway, it's a bit distracting how Bloom's hair is constantly fading through her wings.
It's a crazy world for me and you.
This shot of them flying towards the camera, I know they were trying to like reheat season 4's nachos, if you will, but no. The flying is linear, the faces are stiff. No.
I want to see the changelings anyway. Their snuggle game is on point.
Nobody thought that that was a weird sentence for Flora to be saying, or any of them really. Moving on.
Sometimes I just think it's not fair.
At least they're finding stuff in common, as if we couldn't already guess where this was going. Icy and Stormy are in favor of the ancestral witches, but they're saying this out loud in an Althea classroom? Also, why is Sky here? What? Oh right, eventual training for the fitness exam. Okay, if you look closely, Riven's head glitches into a different position at the start of the next shot.
It may seem simple, but...
So, quick summary of the fitness exam. We get a total of 3 tests, and the first test looks like some kind of puzzle rearrangement. Bloom's basically cheating because Flora helps position her hands to control her magic better. Is that allowed? I guess so. Also, could this be a male fairy that they've discreetly eliminated in the first round? Test number 2 involves reaching the finish line without dropping this magical sphere, and now that they need to transform for this one, I now realize why they eliminated the male fairy.
Our first group transformation! How exciting! Magic Winx!
How did they manage to mess up the transformation pose by giving Bloom this weird facial expression? On the note of transformations, we have Diaspora's fairy form revealed. Ew. We also have Witches and Warlocks transform, which I really like. Icy, Darcy and Stormy, of course, have their outfits that we've seen before, and these other 2 are seen in a different outfit to before. So witch forms are now seen as the equivalent of a fairy transformation? That's cool, I like that. Finally, last test. They get into random pairs. It's basically a scavenger hunt for this hidden trophy, but the longer they take, the worse their grade will be. So the pairings are Bloom and Flora, Stella and Tekna, Aisha and Musa, Icy and Stormy, and Darcy and Diaspro. Interesting. Flora helping Bloom pass the entire test is actually kind of sweet the more it happens. You know, she's just looking out for her, I get it.
They switched our trophy with him!
The headmistress is casually watching with cups of tea in their hands. Yeah, that's right.
Sounds great. Yes! No!
Bloom's transformation model is a lot more expressive than her everyday model, so it's interesting to see Fairy Bloom attempt to emote more, but some of the faces do look a bit unusual.
You! What did you do? I can take care of myself.
Damien.
1, ungrateful much. 2, what happened to the saturation of his hair?
You don't pass the test.
I believe the girls did pass a test of character.
They'll just always make exceptions for the Winx. Tekna's wings are missing, guys. You can't make this up. Oh, here comes the scene that I pointed out on Twitter. Get ready, get ready.
Coming from you, that means a lot, Sky.
Oh god. What am I doing? At least the fandom has had a good laugh from this scene, but I am so sorry to the animator who was behind this one.
How long do I have to remind you of this?
Yay, more secrets! You know, I don't care, just keep it to yourself.
Understood, Damien.
Yes, Father.
No, I said keep it to yourself. Jeez. I didn't see this coming the first time, but I think I was half asleep because, yeah, it's kind of obvious. But I was thrown off a bit at first, I'll give them that. I'd say this is a decent ending.
Magixia!
I don't think I've said this on YouTube yet, but saying the name Magixia just sounds really unusual to me. And it's not a thing of, oh, Magix is better, you know, stop changing stuff in the reboot. It's just, I don't think it was necessary. Magic City was fine. It used to be like Mexico and Mexico City, but now they've changed it into Brazil and Brasilia, if that makes sense. But Brasilia sounds nice, and Magixia just sounds a bit nasty, I can't lie. So they can't go on their Magixia trip because their botany project was incomplete, so they have to stay behind and finish that over the weekend instead. But this is one of the many times that Robin decides to go against what the teachers are saying because she is a true Winxer. She gets it. You go, Robin.
Go before I change my mind. Exactly desperate to go to Magixia, are you? Too many people. Not my thing. People can be good.
They're going to Magixia.
This is the perfect opportunity to steal her dragon flame.
I completely agree. I think a busy capital city on a weekend is the perfect opportunity to attack someone. Virginia Bocelli's songs in the reboot have not failed me yet. This is another cute one. Even if the instrumental could be a bit more elaborate, I think it's fine for what it is. I've seen people mention how the old Althea and Magic City basically swapped color palettes to become the new Althea and Magixia, which is very interesting. I feel like Magixia is missing some kind of pavement, because the buildings kind of look like they've sunk into the ground for some reason. And I remember thinking it looked like one of the Islands of Personality from Inside Out, more than a capital city.
What do you think?
Wow! Magixia is off the hook!
You look disappointed. Of course I'm disappointed. This is it.
This clip of Musa was incomplete in the character trailer that was released for her, because the hair on her face just disappeared as she walked off.
Oh, hi Musa.
Later.
But I'm glad they fixed that, even though I don't understand why she's walking off, because Riven hasn't really done anything except be nice and say hi, I think. And then Aisha says,
I'm sure a smart guy like you can figure out why she does what she does, right?
but I swear this is the first time they've ever interacted. Genuinely, I don't think he would be able to tell. Sally, the fire-eating salamander, I'm so sorry that you have to do Damien's dirty work.
This music, I've heard it before.
Bloom says that she's heard this song before, and it took me a bit, but that reminded me of the original season 1 episode 8, where Bloom kept seeing Daphne scattered around magics, such as through the street performer or on some of the architecture. So I think that may have been an unintentional throwback. Otherwise, it's me pulling something out of nowhere again.
Sally!
Another off-screen transformation. Oh well.
I was just kidding.
Bloom, this way!
At first I literally thought Sky just made Bloom get up on her own, and I'm sure that was a struggle for her, but the animation doesn't make it look that bad, so I guess I shouldn't be worried. But false alarm guys, it was Darcy in disguise.
Let me go!
Something about Bloom's skin looks very green compared to Icy's. Either Bloom is about to vomit, or the scene was composited as if Bloom and Icy were in two different scenes, because I don't understand this color choice.
We've got trouble. Magic Winx!
It's a shame that this transformation sequence just replays the chorus again and again, instead of using other bits of the song like the verse, the bridge, and it means we're going to hear less and less of the song in other languages, which is quite sad.
Let's try to scare her off! Fireball! Fireball!
Another instance of Kate Bristol's performance just being a bit too soft for what's required in some of these scenes. We can blame Brandon for the Winx being caught in Magixia because of that stupid emergency signal, But you know, safety first.
Oh no. What's going on?
It's me!
Faragonda and Griffin have left the tea behind in the office, and they're actually doing something to save the day, which is nice. The infamous punishment scene, just like in the original Season 1 Episode 6, although for different purposes, they will be stuck in campus for 1 week, which I thought was actually quite a long time. But after them being let off multiple times before, I think it is kind of fair.
You should go for it.
Don't listen to her. Things will get super messy if you rush in.
The way Flora delivered that line did not sound very natural at all. Everybody encouraging Bloom to break Sky and Diaspora's relationship. We don't love that, but we do love Bloom being aware of the situation she's in.
So what about Damien?
He gets right to the point. I like him.
Let's just laugh at him now.
Exactly.
Insane how he's been so rude to them, but they're still talking about how much they like him with each other. And this is the first instance of his fire powers being shown to be controllable when he's happy. This becomes a theme later on, that he's more in control of his powers when he's feeling positive emotions. And you know what? Yeah, Damien, you can have that. Enjoy. Okay, that's gonna be enough for part 1. I need a break from this show, oh my god. So, what did I think of these episodes? Had episode 1's plot not been as condensed, I still don't think I would have enjoyed it. The interesting parts of the original story were being sped through too fast, and other moments felt too slow that I don't think anybody really cared about, such as all the time spent on Damien. And then episode 3 I think was maybe a bit better than the other two. Episodes 4 and 5 I didn't really like visually, but after watching episode 5 you can feel the reboot finally establishing a style that they want to express through the series, which in my opinion is no style. But anyway, I don't like the editing of the episodes. I think some of the voice acting's a bit weak. The animation is abysmal at times, and the transformation sequences don't flow in the context, so I disapprove. In the rest of the episodes, the animators get more adjusted to the style of the show, and we see some slight improvement, but episode 4 especially I think is one of the lowest points of the series. But yeah, that's everything for today. Let me know what you thought about those episodes, and I will see you next time.